Hi you guys, this video goes along with your volume number 2 assignment in ALEKS. That's what you're going to be working on today. There are only 10 questions and I will go ahead and help you with the different types of questions that you're going to see. Remember, just like every other day, if you're having any questions or you need extra help, please email me. I'm here to help you. I'm still working. I'm still available. I can help you with whatever you need. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1 on your ALEKS assignment looks like this. It says, the large solid below is made from small cubes. Each has a side length of 1/3 yards. Answer the questions below. Write your answers in simplest form. So question A, how many small cubes is the large solid made of? Question B, what is the volume of one of the small cubes? Question C, what is the volume of the large solid? Okay, so for this one, to figure out how many small cubes the large solid is made up of, okay, we know that this right here, the solid is made up of a rectangle, and then the rectangle is extended by 3, okay? So the area of this rectangle is 4 by 2, and that would be 8. And then 8 times 3, 1, 2, 3, would be 24. Okay, so when we are asked how many small cubes is the large solid made up of, we would say 24. Okay, next question, what is the volume of one of the small cubes? Okay, so one of the small cubes, we know that this is 1/3 and this is 1/3. And then we also know that this would be 1/3. Sorry, I'm not a very good artist here. Okay, so if we want to find the volume of one of the small cubes, we would do 1/3 times 1/3, and then we would times that by 1/3. Okay, so remember, another way to think about volume is length times width times height. So 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. So 1/3 times 1/3 would be 1/9. 1/9 times 1/3 would be 1/27. Okay, so the volume of one small cube would be 1/27 yards cubed. Now, what is the volume of the large solid? Now, if each of these cubes is 1/3 by 1/3, if this is 1/3 and this is 1/3, and this is 1/3, and this is 1/3. 1/3 times 4 would be 4/3. Okay, so this would be 4/3. And then if this is 1/3 and this is 1/3, that's going to be 2/3. So now if we want to find the volume of the large solid, we're going to need to find the area of this rectangle using the 1/3 yards, and then we're going to multiply that by the length that that rectangle was extended. In this case, this is 1/3, this is 1/3, and this is 1/3. So 1/3 times by 3 is just going to be a 1, right? If you take 1/3 and you multiply by 3, 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 divided by 3 is a 1. Okay, so now we multiply 2/3 times by 4/3 times by 1, and that will give us the volume of the large solid. So 2 times 4 is 8, times 1 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. So we would say 8/9 yards cubed. Okay, so let's look at another one that's like that. Okay, it says the large solid below is made from small cubes. Each has a side length of 1/4 centimeters. Answer the questions below. How many small cubes is the large solid made of? What is the volume of one of the small cubes? And what is the volume of the large solid? Okay, so for this one, if we're trying to figure out how many cubes the solid is made up of, okay, we can take and we can say, okay, well, this is made of 2, and then we've got it stacked by 4, right? So 2 times 4 is going to be 8, and then that is extended 1, 2, 3, 4, the length of 4 more cubes. Okay, so 8 times 4 is going to be 32 it's made up of 32 small cubes. Okay, now we have to figure out what is the volume of one of the small cubes. Okay, so that is where we're going to use this 1/4. Okay, if we have one small cube here, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, okay, to find the volume of one small cube, we're going to do 1/4 times by 1/4 times by 1/4. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So this would be 1/64 centimeters cubed. That's for one of the small cubes. Okay, next question. What is the volume of the large solid? Okay, so now, using this, I'm sorry, that was 1/64, and this was 32. I accidentally erased those. Okay, so using this, the fact that this far is 1/4, that means that this far would be 2/4. Okay, and then if this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, what we really have is 4 times by 1/4, which is 1. Okay, so now we want to use those two measurements to find out the area of this rectangle. Okay, the area of the rectangle using the fact that each has a side length of 1/4. Okay, so 1 times 1/4 is going to be 1/4. Oh, sorry, 1 times 2/4. Whoa, okay, sorry about that, you guys. 1 times 2/4, because this was 1/4 and this was another 1/4, right? So we're going to have 1 times 2/4. You guys probably caught that. Okay, so 1 times 2/4 is 2/4, and then we need to multiply that by the length that this rectangle was extended. So 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. So 1/4 times 4, again, is 1. So 2/4 times 1 is just 2/4. And that actually simplifies to be 1/2. So the volume of the large solid would be 1/2 centimeters cubed. Okay, another type of question that you're going to see looks like this. Find the volume of the rectangular prism. Write your answers in simplest form. These are a lot easier than the other ones. On these ones, you just have to find the area of this rectangle and then multiply that by the length that the rectangle was extended, right? Or you can think about volume as being length times width times height. Okay, so to find the area of this rectangle, this part is 3/7, and then this part right here is 4/5. Okay, so its height is 4/5. So then when we do length times width, we're going to have 3/7 times 4/5, which gives us 12/35. And then we need to multiply that by the 1/4. So 12 times 1 is 12. 35 times 4 is 140. Okay, and then this can simplify. I'm going to start with just simplifying it by 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 140 70 times. So I think I can do 2 again. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 70 35 times. So So we would say 3 over 35 feet cubed. Remember, whenever you're doing whenever you're doing volume, it's always cubic units because it's length times width times height. Okay, let's look at one more. Question number 8. Find the volume of the rectangular prism. Okay, so on this one, we are going to find the area of this rectangle, and then we're going to multiply that by the length that it was extended. Okay, so to find the area of this rectangle right here, we've got to do our length times our width. So our width is 5/7, and our length is actually this measurement right here, 3/4. So 5 times 3 is 15, 7 times 4 is 28, and then we have to take and multiply that by the length that it was extended, which is right here, 1/5. So 15 times 1 is 15, 28 times 5 is 140, and now we just simplify that fraction. So I'm going to use 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 140 28 times. So our answer would be 3 over 28 feet cubed. Okay, so as you guys work on this assignment, if you have any questions, please let me know. Remember, basically volume is length times width times height, so you always find the area of the rectangle and then you multiply that by the length that it was extended. So with that said, go ahead and finish your ALEKS assignment. There shouldn't take you too long. There's only 10 questions.